One reads, should the federal government have a role in determining whether state governments permit same-sex marriage? Do you support repeal of the Defense of Marriage Act? We also had one question that said, do you believe life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness includes gay marriage? Mr. Clark.
Well, it's in my opinion, this is one of the most contentious issues that we face. It's very sticky as to how you approach this. We had this discussion coming up in the car. How to address gay marriage. As a man who's been married 25 years, I guess my own opinion is that marriage is between a man and a woman. But I also realize that there are constituents in the 5th District that don't view things that way. I've had many conversations with people who are gay or lesbian, and they address concerns. They've told me where their concerns lie as far as civil unions, and they want to know how do we come to a common sense solution that can make everyone happy. Is our civil unions the answer, or is working to, I guess, make the legislation stronger or the message stronger to say that marriage has to be defined between a man and a woman? Is that the answer? I think that you have a lot of argument on both sides. I think that when you look at it, I think maybe the easiest way to handle the situation is to get the state out of it altogether and making determinations about what is marriage and what isn't marriage. Allow the churches and religions to do that. I mean, how else can we actually justify and move things in accordance with the Constitution when we address this issue? I mean, it is a matter of, do we want to discriminate based on people's choices? We don't have to agree with people's choices, but certainly we have to recognize the right that they shouldn't be discriminated against as far as receiving housing, receiving benefits, tax cuts, or in the case of married couples, a tax penalty. But these are things that they see as a necessity to provide for their lifestyle. And I think that we need to try to find common sense solutions where we can work with both parties and listen to people themselves, not the extremists on either side, but listen to those people who just want to live their lives and be left alone and come to some type of common sense solution.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Congressman Perriello.
I think that we're continuing to see states take different approaches to this, and I think that that's working its way both through state legislatures and through the courts. I think that as a matter of contract law, the discrimination does not make sense. As a question of marriage, I agree with Mr. Clark that I think we need more God and less government in our marriages. And I think that when we look at the real threats to marriage right now, we have the cultural concerns of a culture of instant gratification that we see throughout our culture. I want it for me right now. And we also see the issue of economic hardship. There's no question that in this economy we see a tremendous amount of pressures on families. Whether you've lost a job and you're relying on unemployment benefits in a tough economy and you don't know when those might run out, or whether you've held on to your job but you don't know when you might lose it. Maybe your house is in foreclosure or it's threatening. These tend to put enormous pressure on families. So I think one of the real things we can do is try to make it a little easier to get by in the middle class in this country. And if we give that kind of support to families, I think people can figure out the rest.